All right, y'all. In today's video, we're going to talk about two separate things. Number one, we're going to retouch on the Jimmy Butler situation. I know I've been talking about it a lot recently, but I have some more stuff I want to add after today's game. But more importantly, to the point of this video, I want to talk about kel'el Ware and how he looks like the type of guy who, number one, very good find for Miami. Another great draft pick that looks like an absolute hit. But number two, he looks like not just a decent role player, but a guy who can be an impact top line type starter in this NBA, and from a very young age. He is playing really well in very limited minutes, and I just want to talk about how good he was in the summer league, how good he's been so far this NBA season, and just I'm very impressed by him as a player so far in his career, and I think he's the type of guy who might be a future star for the Miami Heat. So before we hop into the video, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button, help me push towards the 2,000 subscriber mark on the channel. I upload every single day, multiple videos a day. Would really appreciate it if y'all do subscribe. With that being said, yeah, we're gonna hop right into it, and I guess we'll start with the Jimmy Butler piece, because again tonight, despite a blowout win, Jimmy Butler in 28 minutes only shoots 7 shots, 3 rebounds, 7 assists, no turnovers. The 7 assists, no turnovers is nice. He was a plus 19, which is good, but only 8 points. Not very assertive, not very aggressive. Just don't think Jimmy's really all that interested. At the end of the day, that's kind of the vibe he gives off in pregame, in timeouts. Like, he just doesn't, he's not up off the bench quickly. He's not interested in particularly being around his teammates too much. Like, I don't think he dislikes those guys, and he said as much. He said basically he likes going around and hooping with those guys after his first game back. But it is very clear that he's not super interested in being a member of the Heat anymore, and I think we already all knew that, right? Like, it's very obvious that he does not care about this team, and that very much limits their ceiling, but I don't think their ceiling was that high anyway, so it doesn't really, in my opinion, matter. It just comes back to the point again as to why I don't understand why they won't trade him. I just don't think there's a logical reason for him to remain a Heat, but I would not be shocked at this point with the way things are going, considering the trade deadline's about 2 weeks away. I wouldn't be shocked at this point if he winds up remaining a Heat, or a player on the Heat, I should say, and that's fascinating, but that's kind of the direction that it seems like things are going. Additionally, I realistically, like, I don't know. How good can they be without him is my real question, I think. And that's where the kel'el Ware piece really comes into play. I think they're a playoff team without Jimmy Butler. I think there's a real, like, maybe not a, they're at least a play-in team. I mean, that's obvious in the way the East is formatted anyway at this point, and the way these teams are. But I think they could be a playoff team. Now, they're not winning rounds. They're not making a deep run in the playoffs without Jimmy Butler. I don't see that as very likely. But with a Tyler Hero, Bam Adebayo, Duncan Robinson, Haywood Highsmith, Nikola Jovic, kel'el Ware, Terry Rozier, Jaime Jaquez, Pele Larson, maybe he plays some guys like that in the rotation, like, it's not a horrible rotation. And the thing about kel'el Ware that's so interesting to him as a player is his skill set is very unique. He is a legit 7-foot center who provides real size and elite level athletic ability. Look, is he going to be a great inside defender at this point in his career? Probably not. But he's got real athletic ability. He's a decent shot blocker, and he's hyper efficient. 64% at the rim this season, 58% total, 58.5%, and 43% from 3. Now, yes, on low volume, only 1.2 attempts a game, but his per 36 numbers are incredible. Remember, this kid he's 20 years old. He's got so much time to develop and continue to improve. But per 36, he's averaging 18, 10.5, 1.4 assists, and 2.4 blocks. I mean, these per 36 numbers are crazy. And yes, I get some of it has come in some garbage time opportunities and some things like that, but he's already having some good games recently. I mean, he puts up a very efficient 20. I guess he wasn't like dominant tonight, but he was very good. 10 of 19, 1 of 5, 25 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists. Like, that's a high level performance. And he's been having multiple of those lately. He's been having some of these games where it's like, this kid's earning minutes, 33 minutes, 7 of 11, 19 points, 13 rebounds against the Clippers. He goes for 8 and 11 against the Lakers and only 18 minutes. Like, I get it. He's not a superstar yet, but he's having some really nice performances. 9 of 11 in 21 minutes against Indiana, 25 points. Like, this is really impressive stuff. This kid looks like he can be a real double-double machine, an efficient scorer, a capable shooter, so you have to respect him on the outside, and he's a good shot blocker as well. Like, is he a perfect player at this point in his career? No, but for the 15th overall pick in what would be considered a weaker draft, he looks to be a real talent so far, and the type of talent, I mean, you just don't get a ton of guys who are this skilled as a real floor spacers, super athletic, great size, capable rebounders, and versatile high-level shot blockers at this skill set, at this age. Like, it's very It's very rare to see somebody playing this well the way that Kel'el Ware is built and the skill set that he has at his age. And it creates a player who's very, very valuable because it enables the Heat, if they want to, first of all, to put Kel'el Ware and Bam Adebayo together in a lineup, which could allow Kel'el to be more of a roamer and it would be even more impactful as like a shot blocker in a Jaren Jackson type role defensively. It enables them to put Bam off the ball if they want to defensively as well and take a little bit of stress off of his plate defensively at times. It allows them to just play bigger in general. I mean, Haywood Highsmith, Jovic, guys like that as your power forwards for the majority of the season, I wouldn't say is ideal. Jimmy Butler, I guess, has been playing a lot of power forward too. Like, I think that this would enable the Heat to have a lot more versatility with the size of their lineups, and it doesn't really kill their spacing either because of the fact that Ware has been proven to be a legitimately capable shooter. And he's the type of guy who, I mean, Tyler Hero is a fun, exciting, talented ball handler. Terry Rozier, not a bad ball handler himself. Both those guys having a lob threat like Kel'el Ware would unlock the valuability of their pick and roll offense a little bit more. And just overall, it's the type of thing that I feel like could serve to improve this Miami Heat team. A team that, again, like I said, 8th in the East right now. They're lurking. They're only a game back of 6, 2 games back of 5. Like, they're not in a horrible position. I just think realistically they should trade Jimmy Butler, and I think they probably will trade Jimmy Butler by the deadline if I had to guess, because I think they're going to waste him if not. They're going to get nothing for Butler if they don't trade him at the deadline, and I think that's a poor slant or poor strategy to take. But I'd be lying to say I'm not interested, if nothing else, on this Heat team, especially with another young Fide like Kel'el, who seems like he has real star potential. Not just decent role player potential, but like really good high-level player potential. And for a team that has proven in the past that they can do shocking things in the playoffs, you don't completely write off this Heat team, especially not yet with Jimmy Butler in the fold. Like, I obviously think you want to see him show more effort. Going back to Jimmy, his first couple games back and his last couple games before getting suspended for 7 games were not indicative of a player who wants to be in Miami, and they're really still not, in all honesty. I think he's more so here so he doesn't get fined, as Marshawn Lynch would say. But in practice and in reality, he's not interested. And I can't, and honestly, totally blame him for that stance. But I just think, is he handling things right? No. Should the Heat trade him? Yes. It's better for both parties, in all honesty, if they trade him. If they don't trade him, then it leads to this Jimmy Butler who's half-assing it on the court and hurting his numbers, and I think hurting his value, in all honesty. And he's 35 years old. Like, he should know better than this at this point as a 35-year-old. But then it hurts the Heat because they're got a talented player, Jimmy Butler, who they're going to lose for nothing in the summer if they don't trade him. So it continues to be a very fascinating spot, and something that is really limiting what otherwise I think has been at a decent like downturn or upturn for this team as of late. Like, they're not playing great, but they look competitive. And I think Kel'el Ware is becoming a real discovery for this team. If not for the Jimmy Butler drama, I would be starting to get pretty interested in the Heat and how their season's going to go. So it'll be interesting to see how the next couple weeks go leading up to the trade deadline. And they're absolutely a team to watch leading up to the trade deadline, just to see what happens with this whole situation and how the team continues to play. So I hope y'all did enjoy the video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more NBA content very, very soon. And I appreciate y'all. Peace.